So if we're going to disciple people before they become Christians, what does that mean? What does it actually look like as we seek to do that? And just three things I'd like to say for us to think about. The first one is this: if we are going to disciple people towards Christ, our lives will say more to them than just our words. So often when we think about reaching people, we think, what am I going to say to them? How am I going to get the gospel across to them? But the thing that impresses people far more than our words is our lives. I came across a speech years ago which really moved me. It was in a book called Great Historic Speeches, and it was a speech given by a man called Chief Otatania, who was also known as Red Jacket. He was an Indian chief, and he gave this speech at a time, hundreds of years ago, when all the Europeans had gone to settle in America, and they'd settled there, and they'd taken the land away from the native Indians, and now they wanted to impose the Christian religion on the Indians as well. And he gave this speech to a great gathering of leaders, and really the summary of it was, he was saying to them, you've taken our land and now you want to take our religion as well. And he went into a long speech about how people had come across, they'd been welcomed by the Indians, and then having been welcomed, the people had taken the land from them, took more land and more land, and now they wanted to take the religion as well. And he said, we don't want to just give up on our religion, we like the religion we have. But the bit I want to focus on is this: he then said at the conclusion of his speech, he said that we know that you Christians meet in churches, and every week you go to church and you learn about your God. And this is what he said. He said, we will watch, and if we see that your behaviour changes, especially in the way that you treat Indians, then we will think again about your religion. What he was saying was, don't just tell us what to believe, live what you believe, and if we see you really living it, then we'll ask questions about what it is that you say you believe. We're in a different situation now in many ways, but I think it's quite similar as well, in that most people outside of church won't just do what we tell them. They won't believe because we say they should, but they'll watch us. They'll look at our lives. And if they see that what we live matches what we say, then they'll become interested. Second thing is we've got to be prepared to answer people's questions. Many people just don't know what to believe anymore about God. They've not read the Bible, they've not been to church, they've not been brought up to understand anything about God, and so we have to be ready to answer their questions, valid questions they may have, and that might scare us a little bit when we think about it, but actually it shouldn't, because it can be a great way to spur on our own discipleship if we're thinking, how would I answer questions that people have? And then the final thing just to think about is this, and please, please, please grab a hold of this one, and that's it may take time. People that are being discipled from no knowledge of God at all to a point where they're ready to find out who Jesus is, they won't do that all in a day, a week, a month, or maybe even a year. We need to invest time in people and take them on that journey from where they are to where they could come to a point where they meet Jesus.